Welcome to beautiful Hamburg, New York, where we come from you live from the old-fashioned bug at 6050 South Park, our campaign headquarters. And I'm here again with beautiful, oh, did I scare you? Did I wake you up? I'm sorry, beautiful. I'm sorry. Are you mad at me? I'm sorry about that. Martha, and we're here to talk about a few different things. So what I want to talk about first and foremost is the news regarding Chris Jacobs. Crazy stuff, right? We lost Chris Lee. He resigned because he was embarrassed by his online activities. You're going to leave me as soon as I get broadcasting? You can go. It's all right. And then we had Chris Collins, who still is not in jail. And if we lose this race, want to make a bet he tries to postpone his jail again? I bet any money he does. I was going to say something else, but I'll leave it at that. So Chris Lee, Chris Collins. Now we have Chris Jacobs. Now Chris Jacobs, what is he accused of doing? He's accused of lying about where he lived and voting in a town he didn't live in. Now why did he do that? Well, they caught him red-handed on tape saying he lived someplace where he clearly does not live there. They have the evidence. But whether he voted illegally, I don't know. It sure looks like he did. It is troubling. Why is it a problem? Well, there's a couple questions. Did he vote twice? Did he vote somewhere else? Probably not. But still, if I have property in California and I live in New York, should I be allowed to vote in California if I don't really have a connection to that space? According to New York state law, you can't do that in New York. You can be in prison for it. People have been in prison for it because it's a way of somebody exerting or somebody playing with the fast and loose with the voter rules. So I don't know if he did it or not. It's something probably. It's very different than a situation where you have someone who did it by accident, because this is a man who has all the resources in the world, right? He has the best, well, not the best, obviously, but the highest paid consultants at his disposal. Somebody absolutely helped him do this, and either he's reckless or entitled. I don't know. It is strange. Now, did I file the complaint? No, I did not. I was as shocked by this news as anybody else. I think you can pretty much figure out who filed the complaint by looking who has commercials up already talking about the complaint. You cannot produce those commercials in one day. We don't have commercials ready to go for this issue. Somebody else, Beth Parr, she had commercials trigger ready. As soon as this news came out, she had the commercials ready. Now, either she was tipped off or she was responsible. Now, I think Beth is a divorce attorney, so I'm guessing she's somebody who deals with private investigators, and private investigators were involved with this complaint. I mean, but I'm speculating. I don't know. I don't know who filed the complaint. But Chris, it wasn't me. But I think you do deserve the voters an explanation. How did this happen? What were you trying to do? I think what he was trying to do was undermine me, because as you know, I live just beyond the borders of the district. Now, my family has lived here for 7 generations in NY27. I have family in Batavia. I have family in Alden. I was born in Niagara County. It's ludicrous to imply I don't know the region, and I'm not part of the region. Why haven't I plopped down huge money to move out of the district? Well, I was the supervisor of Grand Island. I'm no longer the supervisor, and if I win this race, under law, I'm required to move into the district, and I'm looking forward to it. But Chris, the problem with Chris is when you're this rich, you don't even know where you live because you have multiple houses. But it's clearly he doesn't live in his house in Orchard Park where he's been voting. And how do we know that? Because a reporter went there today, and no one's living in the house. And the neighbors have sworn affidavits saying no one's living in the house. So if Chris wins, he's gonna have some explaining to do. Now, look, I've learned the hard way that Delaware North and the Jacobs have a lot of influence in Western New York. Who knows if the charges will be dropped? I don't know. I've been shocked by a lot of things I've seen in the last few weeks, including my next topic, this absolutely insane robocall by Donald Trump Jr. Listen, I am a guy who grew up a lot. Actually, my whole team, we all grew up humbly, right? None of us were rich. None of us had a silver spoon. And, to see this guy, this kid, I don't even know how old Donnie Jr. is, but he looks like a child. To see this child attacking me for apparently sending jobs overseas? I mean, number one, I thought I was the crazy socialist. Now, suddenly I'm the crazy tycoon who can send jobs overseas? I wish these guys would get their story straight. So, number one, I think it's terribly confusing. But the fact that this child of the President of the United States is helping the child of the owners, of the founder of the Delaware North, attack me for sending jobs overseas. It's completely insane. Like, I feel like I'm living in a nightmarish scenario of some sort. I would hope that this would be a big story, right? All these big shots, these people with billions of dollars are teaming up to beat little Nate McMurray from North Tonawanda High School, home of the Lumberjacks. I mean, I can't believe it. Donnie, if you're fighting me, you've really screwed your life up. Because if I'm competing on the same level as you, how the heck did that happen? To me, that gives me hope. America must still work. Because a guy like me is a shot to fight people like you guys. But you have to lie about me. The only way you can beat me is to lie about me. It's shameful. And you people are shameful. You know that, Don Jr., you're shameful. Why don't you come down here and sit down in Marty's chair so we can have a chat. Come to Marty's chair, Donnie. Let's have a chat about who you are and how much you've wasted your life because you've been living like a spoiled brat. And now you're making robocalls that are full of lies about working class guy who grew up the way I grew up. And for you to make these stories up about me, it's shameful. And I hope you hear my voice, because you don't have the guts to sit in Marty's chair. Come down and sit in Marty's chair, okay, buddy? I'd love to talk to you. Don't be afraid. Okay, sorry. It is so infuriating. All right. Torrin, can you read the questions? Oh, I'll look at them. That's easier, right, Torrin?
I'd like to respond.
Yeah, Linda, it's totally nuts. It's totally nuts. Like you said, they live in a bubble. They do. Chuck Xavier's here. Someone said, "Nice, Austin." I'm wondering if that's referring to you, Austin. Cool. I thought it might be referring to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Is Johnny Jr. an actual robot? The call sounded like a robot. I don't know, man. So, hey, listen, I got to pat myself in the back. Last time they used Steve Bannon, this time they used Donnie Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle. I'll take them all on. Bring them on, guys. Whoever you got. Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely nuts that they have to use a robo. If they are using a robocall to beat me with a couple days left and they're running that crazy ad about jobs going overseas, do you think they got this in the bag? You think they're feeling confident? I don't think so. They've spent over $1 million to get all together and everything since April. I mean, that's a lot of money. Chris Jacobs I think he spent over $2 million already. We're not even close to November. I mean, it's nuts. So they're not feeling confident. And I know why, because we're looking at the numbers. But we're not going to win. I repeat, we are not going to win unless you go and vote on Monday and Tuesday. Or excuse me, Tuesday. Monday's not open. Tuesday. You have to vote. If you have a chance, vote tomorrow. It's Friday. You can vote Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, anywhere you want in your county. After that, you need to wait until Tuesday. There is going to be a surge of voting on Tuesday. And let me tell you something else. It's going to rain on Tuesday, it looks like. So if you want to vote, you better vote quick, because we got to squeeze every single vote we can. The reason why they're doing these robocalls is they're trying to do a final push to beat us. Don't let them beat us. We're this close. They don't do robocalls for nothing. They don't do those commercials for nothing. They didn't do a brand new commercial for nothing. They're trying to win. Don't let them surge at the last moment. We're doing everything we can. I need you guys to do everything you can. Polly says it's good to see the team today. James Baptiste, how are you? Jenny, how are you? Okay. So we want to get up to $4,000 a day. I'll be honest, guys, we had a really slow fundraising day today. It wasn't a good day. And I know you guys have already given. If you've given, share the link to your friends, because we have to reach our goals. And people say, well, why don't we see more of your commercials? We don't have the money to run more commercials. They cost tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Now, here is the good news. The Democratic Congressional Committee has started to focus on this race. We had lots of calls today. They're going to do some stuff for us. They're going to send up some people to help. They might do some additional advertising for us. We don't know. We're in discussions with them, but they are very excited about this race. So that gives us some hope. But we still have to do some fundraising. And we got to fundraise no matter what, because you may have heard what the Erie County said today. They said they're not going to open the ballots until 8 days after the election. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
8 days until after the election. So I'm guessing we're going to have to, as they say, lawyer up. And if you guys can help us lawyer up, I'd appreciate it. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a hang and chad scenario, I'm guessing. And we're going to have to look at every single vote. So do that if you can. So tomorrow morning at 9, right? Is it 9? Is it 9?
9:30, I believe.
9:30 tomorrow morning, we're having a debate. Me, Beth Parr, Stefan Mihailo, and who's the other? Dwayne Whitmer. So, 4, the Freaky 4, tomorrow morning, whatever you want to call it. Tomorrow morning, we're meeting together. Where are we meeting? At the studios of? WBBZ. And listen, it'll be an interesting day. I think the three of them have belief systems that are somewhat similar, and mine is dissimilar. And but I still am grateful they have accepted our offer to debate, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. No Shaky Jake. No, Shaky Jake didn't show up. I know some people hate that I use that nickname, but look at guys. I keep saying it. I punch up. I don't punch down. This is a very powerful man who's using his position to advocate for the Trump presidency. Trump is, you know who Trump is? Let's talk about who Trump is for a second. Charlottesville, Lafayette Park, Muslim ban, kids in cages, 100,000 plus dead. I mean, we can go on and on and on. I mean, this is a fiasco of historic proportions. And people that stand with that man, including the Buffalo News, for the things they said about Chris Jacobs and the way they made excuses for him. I find it funny that if my slightest tweet from 2 years ago gets scrutinized like some cardinal sin, and Chris Jacobs gets passes for the most extreme behavior. We bend over backwards to make excuses for this guy. I don't get it, but we live in a time where we have to fight. If we don't fight, our voices will not be heard. And I understand, maybe I got to take it back 10%, but I'm never going to take it back 50%. I got to be who I am. Tell us who you are and how I'm different. I tell you every day how I'm different, Steve. I mean, I couldn't be more listen, I'm the only candidate in this race who's put detailed proposals for policy positions on my website, and I've shared them with the public over and over again. Look, I would love to talk about issues all day, every single day. I do talk about issues every day. You guys watch this show at night. Every night I get on here, I talk in detail about who I am and what I represent. I need you guys, but we have to also understand that this is, whether we like it or not, it's a horse race. It's not a beauty contest. And I have noticed, despite the discussion that we want to hear more about issues, when we put out those detailed papers, no one reads them. And we know that because we look at our website. There's zero interaction with those issue papers. You guys know what I stand for. I talk about it all the time. Health care for every single American. Social Security protection. Investment in new technologies. Investment in infrastructure. Student debt-free education. I mean, I could go on. You know what I stand. Legalization of marijuana. There's things I talk about all the time that I stand for, and we put out detailed position papers on these things. It's your job. I have to say this. It's your job to educate yourself and to inform the public. And if I only talked about those issues, which I've tried, there isn't a lot of feedback from the public. I wish there was. And I think if you look at the other candidates in this race, they've said nothing about what they represent. I mean, Chris Jacobs literally hasn't said nothing about what he believes. His only thing is that he believes in Donald Trump. So if you're curious about what I stand for, go to votemcmurray.com. You can find more information, or go to sign up for our mailing list. We send out detailed position papers all the time. And I think you can also see by what I stand for, by who stands with me. Look at all the unions that are with us, and the great help that's been. All right, we are not raising any money tonight. It's a slow day, Torin. Slow day. Steve, you're going to have to read them. I mean, I've talked about it at great length. They're based on the principles I believe in. Let's take one issue, for example, health care. I believe that every single American should have health care. And you could pay for it through a progressive tax. I don't want to increase tax in the working class. I want to increase tax in those who can afford to pay it, like Chris Jacobs, obviously, who has so many homes he doesn't even know where he lives. And I think that we have to make sure, by doing that, we also we do what every other country in the world does and figures out a way to cover every single American. Now, I've said many times, I think the best way to do that is Medicare for all. Now, when I've said that in NY27, the response most often is, well, I'm worried about you taking away my Medicare if that's done. Well, we don't have to do that. And we have other examples in other countries where it's done very well. And I've also talked very detailed about how our system of healthcare is very inefficient, and how we have one of the most inefficient systems in the entire world. A system that is the most expensive by far and offers some of the worst care. So, I will take those values and principles into Washington, and I understand that contract drafting and legal drafting is a lot like legislative drafting, and it's a negotiation process. But those core principles cannot bend, and those are the principles that I talk about frequently that I'll take with me to Washington. Channel 5 on Spectrum, what's that about? Yeah, they'll do party line tactics tomorrow. I think about that. But listen, I'll be cool. Don't worry. I'm glad they're going to be on TV. We're going to have a chance to talk about it. Hey, WBBZ, yeah. It's Channel 5 on Fios. That's right. I would think they'd want Nate to win tomorrow. It has to be easier to unseat an incumbent from the other party than from your own party. Look, I'll tell you the truth. Is there any Republicans out there, if you have Republican friends, if you vote in Chris Jacobs in the 23rd, you are never getting rid of him. There will be a Jacobs in that seat for the next 100 years. You're not going to get rid of him. Do you guys agree?
Yep. Sounds right.
Were we just talking? Do you see the point I just made?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
They're not going to let him go. He's there because he's a money interest.
He's there because he's helping fund their party.
That's exactly what
And you're never going to get rid of it. If you really want to have a choice in November or ever again, frankly, and if you're also worried about NY26, we got to stop Jacobs now. And it's not because he's so good. You know he's not good. If that guy didn't have billions of dollars behind him, who knows what he'd be doing? He wouldn't be running for Congress, that's for sure. Any take any guesses what he might be doing?
Betting on the ponies.
Well, listen, we need to beat him now, and I think the Republicans know that as well. I'm outnumbered tomorrow. Yeah, I'm outnumbered. Listen, if I was a wimp, I wouldn't go into that debate. I'll be fine, don't worry. I've been in a lot tougher rooms than that. I'm not afraid of anything. Well, we're up, oh boy. We're raising some money. Thank you for those who are sending money. If you could send us $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, what's up?
The last donation was from my mom.
Oh, Lord.
$27.
Thank you, Austin.
The last donation was from, what's your mom's name?
Delinda.
Belinda? Delinda, thank you. How are you? And I always say to you, Delinda, if you're watching, you raised such a wonderful son. Honestly, is this kid nice? Could this kid be better?
Amazing. We love him.
And by the way, what district did you run for last time?
State Senate 57.
States, you guys messed up. I know this young man. He ran for state senate. Who'd you lose to? I can't remember. George Borrello. I don't know much about it, no offense. I tried to help you a little bit at that time, but I didn't know that much about it. George Borrello, no offense, I don't know what you're about, but this guy's better. He's got to be. He's one of the best people I ever met. He's as honest as it gets. He works hard. He is wickedly smart. Is there anything you can't do? What are you not good at?
Sports.
Sports? That's the lead. I don't got to worry about that at all.
Basketball
Whenever I talk about sports, you seem a little uncomfortable. Now I get it.
Yeah.
That's all right. William Fine just did $50. Thank you. Thank you. Gordon hasn't seen our TV ads yet. They're all over the stations. I'm not sure what station you're watching, Gordon. They should be on. Most people are seeing them in the morning. We're going to do a lot more. What are we going to do? We're going to start doing a lot more digital ads. We're seeing pound for pound, they are a lot cheaper and they have a lot more of a return for us. So we're starting to look at more and more digital advertising. It's a different era. A lot of people that vote don't even have cable access or cable television anymore. So it's something we have to explore, and we've been encouraged to explore more by the National Party. And I think in the future it's going to even become more and more of an issue. Polly said she saw it on MSNBC. I noticed in the interviews with Jackie Walker, only Stefan talks directly to the camera. Well, Jane, I'll tell you what they do. They set up the camera, and they say, look over here. So whenever you, like, they must, I don't know. I try to look at the camera, and they say, no, please look over here, Mr. McMurray, and I always have to turn my head. So I don't know. Usually they pose you for those interviews. You don't really have a choice. Do the ask from grandma. Redo the ask from grandma. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. We love you, Cindy.
Cindy, we love you, but I have no idea what you're talking about. You redo the ask from grandma. Get copies of the Messenger. My editorial is in there. Can somebody get me a few copies? I'm over here in Lewiston. Yeah, I'll go. Hey, Jude Keys, are you watching? I hope you are. Can somebody call Jude Keys to get some copies of the Messenger? I want to see your editorial.
Yeah.
Linda's. If you guys hear my voice is failing, I'm tired. I'm really tired, but I promised I would do this. So we're up to, boy, just a couple $100 more. I know we're going back to the same well here, but if you guys can share the link with your friends, that's helpful. Are we still on Twitch? I can go live on Twitch. I'm on Twitch.
You're live on Twitch right now.
Oh, hey, Twitch. Twitch Universe, how are you? What is Twitch? This video right now when I'm talking about Twitch is going to be cut up in 20 years and put in an ad and be like, McMurray doesn't understand technology. I think Twitch is like, it's gamers. Are you guys gamers?
Yep.
Sam's a gamer, I can tell. No? Are any of you guys a one gamer? What do you game, Hunter?
I play Overwatch, I play some Doom, play some...
What's your Overwatch character?
I play Moira.
What is Moira?
She's a healer.
Aw. Aw.
Hunter is a healer in his heart.
Sounds great to me.
There you go.
Mono's what I'm talking
I like that ad from 2018. I like that ad too. That's why we ran it on digital again. It's a good ad. Your ad is on Rachel as we speak. Oh, good. I'm on Rachel Maddow as we speak. Cool. Cool. What will you do to stop these state predator corporations from buying up owner-occupied mobile homes and doubling and tripling our lot rents? Look, that's a great question, Sandra. I'm with you. Look, there shouldn't be out of state. It's probably a state law issue, though. So first and foremost, I would call your state senator and your state assemblyman or assemblywoman to say, hey, this is happening. They're doubling our rent right now. Any thoughts about that? You might have a better view of that.
There's a great book, Evicted, that I read. I'll actually give it to you. But it's about, especially rural areas, the trailer parks are being bought up by large companies and prices jacked up.
Sandra, you know what? I'd like to talk to you after I get elected. Actually, you can help educate me what you're going through. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not going to fake that I know tons about it. And it sounds like Austin over here, who should be in office someday, by the way. I can't wait to vote for Austin someday. We'll have to learn more about that, and I'd love to talk to you. Saw your sign in North Collins today and thought, Collins, ironic. It's truly ironic. I agree with you, Bob. Bill, you should get Jim the Hammer Shapiro to run an ad for you. Who is Jim the Hammer Shapiro? What am I missing? Is he a local guy?
He's the hammer, I guess.
Oh, he's a lawyer in Rochester? How is he? Is he the Hammer? All right. My team here says he's the hammer, so. Bill, I'll work on it. Sandra, yeah, let's talk more about it. I'm sorry you're going through that right now. And I love your avatar. Okay. We are at 783. We're just a few $100s away from bedtime. I'll tell you what I do every night when I get out of here. I go right to my house. I walk in. I slip my shoes off, go to my bed, and I just timber right in the bed.
Sounds about right.
And if I have the energy, I brush my teeth. I'm not gonna lie.
Doesn't understand technology, doesn't brush
Do you
his
drink?
teeth.
I know. I gotta protect these teeth. Sandra saw the ad. The 3 faces of Chris. Absolutely. We did a stand on every. Oh yeah, I heard the stand on every corner in Avon went really well. Tell me more about it, Chuck. I saw the photographs. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know how hard it is to do that. And there's going to be a stand on every corner tomorrow on Transit Road at 4 o'clock. I heard the secret. Heard someone whisper to me. 4 o'clock tomorrow, Transit Road. If you're in the Erie County area, get out there. I'm going to try to make a visit, make an appearance. I have an event on the east side of the district, then I'm going to rush back and try to see you guys in the west side of the district. But yeah, Transit Road tomorrow. I think they're meeting. Where are they meeting? Torrin, you know?
I don't off the top of my head.
I'll find out. Hold on a second. I'm live on Twitch. The people on Twitch want to know.
We'll share it on Facebook too.
Well, yeah, well, sure. Eastern Hills Mall parking lot Friday. They're going to stretch out along Transit Road. Social distancing will apply. Bring your masks. Stand on every corner. Got it, guys? 25 people did it in Avon today. I wish I was there. I wish I was there with you. The 3 faces of Chris. I like that. I mean, are we really gonna elect Chris Jacobs? Let me ask you. Tell me in the feed here. Are we going to elect another millionaire who's already facing criminal investigation? Is this really going to happen, Western New York? So far, no response. What do you guys think? Is this really going to happen? Cop Ace will be there tomorrow. Someone please tell me no here. I would like to hear a no. How about you guys? Is this going to happen?
No.
No.
Right, the townspeople.
Avon. I'm sorry. I always say it, bro. There's still pronunciations. We always fight about pronunciation here. We have people here who say it's Darien because that's how I learned growing up, and then we have people here that say it's Darien.
Who says that?
Well, Darien Lake is how we say it, but I've met people out there that say it's Darien. I'm like, what?
Who says Corfu? I've heard somebody say Corfu. Not a thing.
What's it supposed to be pronounced?
Corfu.
No, it's
Corfu. Like curfew?
But,
Corfu.
but at its core, yeah.
How many feet from the polling place? 100 feet from the polling place is the rule. But some polling places, Livingston County doesn't want any signs by the polling place. Oh my gosh, Linda Van Hersel, she messaged 300 people today asking them to text. Holy cow. Cop-Pace, hard no to Jacobs. Cop-Pace, hard yes to Cop-Pace. Cop-Pace is one of the best. Cop-Pace is one of my favorites all time. Such a wonderful human being. So we're up to Darien. Yeah, exactly, Bob. Who said that? 200 bucks away, guys. Cindy Buka Fleischer gave us the hell no. Do you know that was one of our original ideas for our campaign slogan 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Hell yes. But we quickly surmised that people would shout back hell no. so we dropped it.
He said hell no to that slogan.
Akron Village today had Republican signs on the lawn, no Nate signs. Can we get some signs out to Akron Village Hall? Yes. Hunter's on it. Listen, guys, it's whack-a-mole. Every time we put one up, they get taken down. It's a disaster. It's a pain in the neck. Trust us. We're on it every day. I got a text and Facebook message from T. McMurray today. Strong work, everyone. Yeah, trust me. We do it all day long.
Thank you, Cindy.
Cindy, we're doing it. And we're barely doing it because we're running out of gas here, but we are at 200 bucks away. We'll get there. If I have to stay up all night, we'll get there. There's a lot of people on Twitch joining on.
Bob Hoffman's watching. Can you tell people about Bob?
What about him?
Well, he happened to stop by today. He's been a strong supporter, right?
We know
He's been
Bob, yeah.
He owns the
A
wine
tire
store.
business.
Yeah, well, I know who Bob is, but what about him? He brought some cash by today?
He's been a tireless supporter. He also brought something by for Mo.
What is it?
Mo, we hope you're watching. So it's kind of past your bedtime.
Don't worry, it's safe.
Geez, you guys are surprising me now. Wow. Bob, I'm not sure I can accept it. It's too nice. I'll have to check with my campaign staff over here.
Not a severed head, is it?
It's an incredible
Oh, wow.
cuckoo clock. Because my son and I visited his shop, and I said how beautiful the cuckoo clocks were.
That's so cool.
I don't even know what to say. I will verify that we're allowed to accept it, but it is absolutely gorgeous, and like I'm touched. I love it. I really do. Bob, I'm so grateful. Thank you. It will hang with pride in our house. I appreciate that. And
In your congressional office.
in my congressional office, yeah, my son can come look at it. This is an honor. I mean, I didn't expect it. What am I supposed to say? Bob, thank you. You're a very kind man.
That's all he hears.
That's what a you good- say.
Yeah.
What's his place called?
Buffalo watching.
Yeah, Buffalo Watch World. It's awesome.
He said it's for your son, not for you.
Nah.
I got it. I understand that. Well, it's Bob. Thank you so much. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's very, very touching and surprising. And thank you so much. Can I get thank you to him? Everybody say thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Bob,
We love you.
it's almost too nice for me though. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. It's so beautiful. It's delicate. Isn't it awesome? You want to look at it, anybody?
Yeah, oh, off camera.
Here. No, yeah, sure, of course. Take a look. Thank you. Wow, that was surprising, Bob. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. They usually have me sequestered in the back doing my thing. It's beautiful, beautiful. In Holland, they put the signs down at night and they put them out in the morning. Good job. Bob says we'll fix it if we break it.
That's one way to stay in business.
Bob, thank you. You know, I always wanted a cuckoo clock myself because I'm a little cuckoo, you know what I'm saying? No, because it's so beautiful to have. I love having it. That's right. My son is usually with me. He's out today with my brother putting up signs. So, thank you. Any other questions for me? If not, we're going to miss our goal tonight. That's okay, 'cause I'm too tired to keep doing this right now. And I have that debate in the morning. Any other questions from anybody? Buffalo Watch World. Bob goes there for everything, changing batteries, good service. Yeah, it's a cool place. I got to a lot of good businesses. I went to Siemens in East Pembroke last week. What a cool place. Awesome. Siemens Hardware in East Pembroke was open for 6 generations as a hardware store. That East Pembroke started as a mill town. They put a mill on that little the river there, and they started, you know, producing all kinds of goods, and they needed a hardware store, and the Siemens family have been operating it for 6 generations. You know, we appreciate you. My son, who met you in 2000, still talks about meeting you and how much he loved talking with you about issues related to the food industry in the U.S. Cop Pace, I appreciate you. If there was more Cop Paces in the world, we'd be in a much more happy place. Great pics of you at Siemens. Oh yeah, thank you. It was fun. The pics are always taken by the wonderfully talented. I've been hanging out with this guy for 5 years. I just forgot his name. Torin. I'm so tired. I almost called him. Yeah, I almost called him Matt. My good friend Torin. Torin, Torin is the best eye ever. If it wasn't for Torin, it'd be all selfies. And Torin's great. Gail Siemens was a great Democrat at Wyoming County Democratic Committee for a long time. I didn't know that. Yeah, the Siemens are pretty wonderful people. Do you know what Torin means, everybody? You know what his name means? I love it. Chief in Gaelic. Chief.
remember that we made our first campaign video
No.
in the Amherst Dems headquarters? And you opened with that.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Sorry.
Oh, then yeah, I will. Don't worry, Linda. Well, Linda, I'm gonna try to tomorrow. I'm just gonna try to play it cool a little bit. I'm gonna let these people talk. I'll be honest with you. The more they talk, I think people are gonna see what they actually believe in. Mary Lynn, I'm with you too. Let's win this. Let's win this whole thing, guys. Can we do it? Can we do it? We can win this whole thing. Come on.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, we can win it. We're this close. Austin, tell me how you feel for real right now. Austin and Hunter, I want to hear both your opinions.
Well, we can tell folks the numbers from Hamburg for early voting today.
But I don't want to get them too psyched because then they're going to get disappointed if we start to lose that lead. And we need to look at. We know
Right.
there's going to be a surge on Tuesday.
So we're in a good place now, but U+2.
U plus 2. Ready? You guys love the chant.
Here we go.
U plus 2. U plus 2. U plus 2. U plus 2. Did you vote? Ask your mom. Did she vote? Ask your brother. You get the point. Ask somebody else to vote. Okay, we need people to vote badly. We're not going to win if we just go through the motions. You got to go get extras. So think about it right now. Who in your life, who did vote? Who didn't vote? Well, do you think that guy voted? Do you think Uncle Sheppy voted? Do you think Ronnie voted? Think about it. Whoever's in your life, go find those characters and bring them out to the polls. That's the only way you're going to win. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how red the district is if people who normally don't vote, vote. And I talk to people every single day. I would say 90% of them have no idea there's even an election. That's why we need to get those extra votes out. Most people do not know there's even an election. Do you know who knows there's an election? Hardcore Republican voters. The people who are standing with Donald Trump. They know there's an election. The rest of them don't know there's an election. That's why I need you to get you out to vote. And if we win here, we're going to shock the world, I'm telling you. Sandra says she sent 33 asks today, won't stop passing it on. Please, if you don't want to talk, text. Text the heck out of them.
You plus 33.
I went to Flying Bison Brewery Company to pick up a keg for our home bar. Tim saw McMurray sign on the displayed in the back when after the keg was for Nate's campaign headquarters. I said, nope, I'll bring a fresh one over Tuesday when they win. Oh, man, Jill.
Thank you in advance.
Listen, I'm not a drinker, but if I drank, I'd be drinking Flying Bison because I love the people at Flying Bison. They're great. But these guys, trust me, they're drinking all kinds of stuff. They'll drink that Flying Bison. They love it. I love the people at Flying Bison. If you haven't been to Flying Bison, tell these where's Flying Bison? Tell everybody.
Somewhere that way.
It's over there.
It's in Buffalo. It's the first microbrewery in Buffalo, I think, major one. Yeah, and it's got a killer logo. They're always nice. They have a lot of events there. I was there for the Working Family Parties event. I love them. They're great. They're great people. In fact, round of applause for Flying Bison. Yeah. If you're a Republican, yeah, write me in. Love it. I want to win the Republican primary. It'd be great. Write my name on the ballot. Go ahead. Let's see if we can get at least 1%. Keep writing that name. I got a lot of Republican friends. Paul, you're out there. Oh, gosh, I got to say that. I didn't want to bring this up, but I got to say it. It's sad. And I'm going to switch gears here in a very awkward way, but I need to say it before this is over. Last year, when I was running for Congress, I met a lot of great people. Or 2 years ago now. And I met a wonderful family, the Howards. And I met Ted Howard from Pavilion, New York. And Ted Howard was a former Republican supervisor who was opposed to Chris Collins. And Ted and I became friends. And I became very close to his wife and him, and I loved them very, very much. I love him. I love them. I shouldn't say loved. I love them very much. And Ted agreed to be in my commercial where they were Republicans who were never going to vote for Chris Collins. And Ted was the one who did the no. You remember that? where he's like, never, not this time, no. And a lot of people said, well, he's not really a Republican. He was a lifelong Republican, and he was a Republican in the spirit of people like William F. Buckley, very well-read man, he was not a Trump Republican. He was not a Collins Republican. This is a man I could sit with and talk for hours about just about anything. And even if we disagreed, he was eloquent, he was sophisticated, he was noble. And I loved him. I loved him very much. And he passed away today. And it was sad to see that and hear that. And I will be visiting, hopefully his wife this week, and send my regards. But you guys know who I'm talking about. And he's a wonderful human being. And there's a couple people since I started running for office that passed away that touched me deeply, but probably none more profoundly than Ted. And Ted, I do care about you, and wherever you are, you're missed. You made a huge impact on this world, on people like myself and the people on my campaign, and your passing is sudden, and you will not be forgotten. And we're grateful for you, and we already miss you. So with that, I will end tonight, and I say I'll miss you, Ted, and I hope you're safe and happy wherever you are now.